And while we make the transition from a healthy mind back to that of a healthy body, I want to remind you you're watching Health This Week. For more information or to watch this show again, go to our website, healththisweek.com. I'm joined now in the studio by Mr. Pete Koch, former NFL great and our fitness correspondent here at Health This Week. Pete, always good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Don.
Now, Pete, one of the things that we were talking about, I guess, before going on the air was beginning a fitness program and the various things that we do to try to become healthier, try to become more fit. Obviously, that's your expertise. Give us a little bit of background on that.
Yeah, I think people should first of all consider the organization of the way they're working out. And just talk about it from the fitness standpoint for 1 second. And that includes think about having your body prepared to work out. Call that a warm-up, a dynamic warm-up. Most people just get on the elliptical machine or the treadmill for a few minutes, but there are better ways to go about preparing yourself for workout, and they include moving dynamically. Some examples would be walking and rotating at the same time. Sort of a lunge walking is one of the approaches, or getting away from the machines and just getting yourself moving. If you have a place to run, just physically running is better. Understand that when we're running, we're propelling our body. When we're just on a treadmill, we're just keeping up with the belt that's moving, and it affects our skeletal muscle system in a different way.
Well, it's interesting you should mention that, because if you walk by a gym any particular time of day, you've got all these people who want the window machines, and they're on the elliptical, they're on the treadmill, they're on the stair climbers, and if you watch television on these infomercials, they're telling you all you got to do is 3 times a week, 20 minutes a day, and you really disagree with that, don't you? Yeah,
I do. I mean, that's optimistic, and I think philosophically, when we hear those messages, it's really, you know, dumbing down the complexity and the demands of our body. You know, just 100 years ago, 150 years ago, before modern conveniences, before the Industrial Revolution, when you consider how many calories we had to utilize each day when we didn't have electricity and an automobile, etc. So we really, when we do get to the gym and when we're able to partition our time and get there, our workout should be specific and it should be intense, and it should take typically at least 40 minutes.
Okay, so we take 40 minutes, and it's a combination of not only you know, aerobic type exercise, but you're also a big believer in moving some weight around. Not a tremendous amount of weight, but moving some around nonetheless.
Exactly, Don. And so after you would get warmed up properly or dynamically, the next step in the order of things would be strength training. Everybody should engage in strength training. In fact, it's more important that women engage in strength training. Women are at a natural disadvantage when it comes to being strong. Understand, I've talked about before that muscle tissue is smaller, certainly much denser than fat tissue. We want to develop this calorie-thirsty skeletal muscle tissue. And women, quite naturally, are born with less of it as a percentage of their body weight because they tend to have more fat for, you know, having children, etc. It's just a genetic thing. So it's particularly important that women lift weights, men too, of course, and then in the correct order of things, your cardiorespiratory work, we want to keep that heart and lungs very, very strong. That should be the last thing that you do in terms of the order of things in your workout.
Again, if you want to know more about Pete Koch and his workouts, go to his website, petekoch.com. Pete, always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Don.